Everything unlimited. All right, very nice. Sounds like a concept and a company that I can really get behind. I'm looking forward to seeing something besides this, unless... No, I don't have to click it. So how are we all doing at home tonight? Or today, or whenever you're watching this, I guess. Alright, seriously, when is this going to load? Okay, here we go. Hey, alright. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Beginner's Guide. I don't know what this game is about. Seriously, I have no idea, but I do know that it was made by the same people who made the Stanley Parable, which I also haven't played, but I've heard excellent things about. Oh, good. For a second, I thought it went unresponsive. That looks a lot like what it does when my computer's freaking out about something. Audio is on. Uh-oh. Alright. Sounds good. Ready to go. WASD. My favorite way to be.
Hi there.
Hi.
Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
Oh, you're welcome.
My name is Davey Reedon.
How nice.
I wrote The Stanley Parable. And
Oh,
while
yeah.
that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Oh, okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level.
Okay, yes,
And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this?
Yeah,
This is what I like about all of Coda's games.
definitely
I
wondering
mean,
that.
not that they're all
just
fascinating as games, but
blobs.
that they are all going to give us access to their creator.
True.
I want us to see past the games themselves.
Okay.
I want to get to know who this human being really is.
Wow.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
All right.
So,
Sounds good.
it's 2008.
Yeah.
Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't
Aw.
put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever.
That's it.
And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even
scrapping.
really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since.
Aw.
And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and
Okay.
I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger message of encouragement to Coda.
All right.
So
very
thanks
cool,
for
I like
joining
it.
me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction.
Wow.
Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
All right.
As each game is loading, I'll show you the date
we
that
go.
it was
This is really
completed.
cool. I like this a lot.
first one was made in November
like a gallery.
2008.
Oh. Oh, I do so love walking about the gallery. Oh my, how avant-garde. My. Getting a little Markiplier there. Whoa!
Whisper machine active.
Whoa,
Ship
okay.
construction imminent.
Oh gosh. This is
This
a
game
lot
is
less...
called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Okay, so I guess guess there was fire there that I dodged. That's good. Submerged machine on, off, on. Establish that.
Security call breached. Hostile
Come in! Oh god, it worked. Hello?
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development.
Yeah.
For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or
Yeah,
enemies
I'm waiting
somewhere.
for something to
But then
pop out.
clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you
Sure.
run out of bullets.
I am out of bullets.
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
I guess that's fair.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that the door opened. God, I wouldn't have used up all my bullets so fast if I knew that I didn't get very many.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh wow, that's... I actually wouldn't have noticed that unless you pointed it out, so... Not terrible use of a skybox, obviously. Alright, bouncing right along here. Okay, let's...
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest
Oh my
of
God,
time,
please.
I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Okay. Thank God, I might have spent years in there.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting.
Ah.
The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it
Okay.
has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If you...
Me.
Your body could stop the beam.
But I would die.
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Well, I mean... No? No, I... Okay, so it's kind of a false choice, but still a powerful statement, I guess.
Let me pause here for a second.
Like a fly in a bug
What you just
zapper.
experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Yeah.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a
Uh-oh.
bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Wait, can I still move around? Oh, I thought that would be really funny if I could still. Oh, wait, that was what he intended. This is the bug. Okay, so we walk in. Oh. Oh, wow. That's
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to
still going,
traverse. I don't even know.
like
I
it.
have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, November 2008. Well, gosh, I see why this game comes with a chapter selection now. Alright, so... Whoa, okay. Oh yes, this feels very, very Parable-ish, I think.
So try walking backwards.
Oh.
Yep. In this game, you
No
can
way.
only walk backwards.
Oh, that's fun. I like it. Alright. And, ready? Ready, hold on. And off we go! Wow, this is hard to steer. But the future
So it's a
could
short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Yeah, alright. The backwards music adds a lot too, I'll say. I wish there was a little bit more to discover. Oh! Good, because there is. Why is the future always changing? When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Can I move forward now? No, I still can. Ooh, this is different. but the future is always behind her. How will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought. It says what it wants to
Ooh, it's
say,
a head
and then it ends.
scratcher.
Didn't
Not
need
really.
anything more
It's
than
not like
that.
it leads a
Which to me
mystery.
is why it works.
Yeah.
Because it gets out quick.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Okay,
with them
next
that.
one.
And the I really like the combination of gameplay and story in that one. Simple but hard to beat. Oh, this looks scary. This looks spooky. What's going on here? Oh yeah, this looks like one that's gonna give me the shivers. You are now entering. Now entering what? Is it gonna tell me what we're entering?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning
What?
of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay, I'll take your word on it. You've earned some credit at this point. But gotta say that one didn't steal me as much. But I'm sure we'll get to it.
Oftentimes, Coda would
in
put
nearly
bizarre
every
titles
direction.
like this one at the start of his games.
Oh, okay, that's the title. Oh, okay, all right.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Love the skybox on this one. Sorry, I'll get into it. I mean, gotta say, from what I can see of the level, it doesn't exactly look action-packed, but it's beautiful in a very minimalist way, very primitive way. Can I?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl,
I was gonna say.
the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
All right, here we go. I like it. I bet there'll be nothing in the door, right? Like the point is the open door and not knowing what's in it. Oh no, this is like a nice space. Stand like sitting at a bar for 3 hours. Whoa. I came up on the posters and concept I shouldn't pretend to be. Whoa. Plays a loud bodiless sound walking around confusing people. Whoa. A normal game where you have to scream into a microphone.
A
Whoa.
room that's
You are a
warm
gate.
and nice
You are a gate?
and filled with little ideas for games.
A series of lavish manuals come with the game, giving you incorrect instructions on how to play. You're the queen dusting your jewelry while you're king.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't
Well, your
mind
kingdom
if
is
people
destroyed.
thought of him as cold or distant.
Play as a king.
He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that.
It doesn't work.
It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Enemies knows how to beat them. Wow. Oh, I love the message in this one. Sharks are trying to eat you simultaneously. You are trying to eat the sharks? Oh, no. I was liking all the ideas in that one. Oh, that was really cool. Okay, that one I liked the message and combination of that and the gameplay even more. And I could spend a good 10 minutes reading all those ideas in that room, I think. Hey, sorry guys, got a little self-conscious of my eyes again. I'm not liking it much. I'm thinking of getting a little work done. It's don't fret. It's a lot easier when your eyes are made of ping pong balls. Let's go to the prison. It's looking a little orange is the new black to me here, champ. What's going on this time? I'm loving. Can we just... feel like I'm bathing in the audio. The water, the music. Loving that. Wow, it's getting closer. Is that a good thing?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go
Oh.
ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh, I can press space to jump. I was gonna say, is that the puzzle? Do I need to get in position? Ah, I thought so.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Dots are fine. I'm fine with dots. Orange is becoming more prominent. I really like the palette in this one. I like the palette in most of his games. Very comfortable.
So that seems to be it, right?
Yeah.
You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end.
Yep.
Simple enough.
Yep.
All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. And shabam! Oh. Nope. Oh. Alright, that's fine. Wow.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
Yeah.
I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same.
Yeah.
Is that most of the time, you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
To enjoy, I guess. To embrace. Oh, jeez. Alright. I swear this better be going somewhere this time. You are now exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
I suppose. I mean, I think most theorists would suggest that all works done by the same person are interconnected without needing to be told that, you know? If you look at the works of Dickens, it's not like you need to be told to look for common themes or settings or anything. It's just... it's Dickens stuff, so you assume it's going to go together. Alright, the Great and Lovely Descent looks great. Give me just a second to get re-geared here. Alright guys, I am nicely re-geared, but I think this vast abyss with just what looks like a charming little restaurant to keep us company is a good place for us to wrap up this episode. Loving the beginner's guide so far. Love the idea of just exploring this one individual's different works as they change and evolve over time. Definitely looking forward to seeing more of it, and I hope you are too. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Later days.